Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jacob with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So, who really is the deep state and who is in control? So, I just did a show with Leo Zagami. The show is on Rumble, and the show is also here on YouTube. It's uploading right now. So, stay here while I finish this show, and then you can watch it. It's uploading right now. But in that show, he basically he had a huge reveal. So, a lot of us have been under the impression that Kazarian Mafia was so powerful. They were in charge of all the mafias. They're in charge of all the governments around the world. But it's not the Kazarian Mafia. And Leo Zagami, who I hosted just recently, he has his 12th and final book out in Confessions of an Illuminati. He basically revealed and laughed at my question, who's more powerful, the Kazarian Mafia or the Jesuits? Because he was revealing a lot in that interview. And he laughed and he said, hands down, it's the Jesuits that are controlling and ruling the world. And through the educational system, they're actually doing immigration through the leftist into all the countries. Of course, Biden was honored as a great man by the Jesuits, right? So a lot of these guys go through Jesuit schools, educational system. So who's been taking down the educational system? That's Trump. And Trump is also going after Harvard. So not just did he take down the Department of Education in the United States, which is probably Jesuit run. I'm assuming, I'm sure correctly, but also he's going after Harvard and higher education. And he's going after them because they're attacking the Jewish religion, not the Khazarians, as I think a lot of people believe, but the actual Jewish religion. So I totally agree with him on that. And this is a way that he can come in and basically take down the Jesuits, because the Jesuits, the Order of Jesus, whatever, they and Leo said they're the opposite, the complete opposite of devotion to Jesus, complete opposite. So it's a farce. It's a slap in the face of Christianity, Jesus, and so forth. So also they're pushing the immigration. So they're pushing the immigration, of course, under the Biden administration, Jesuit. They gave the Catholic Church, the Jesuit side of it, of course, over $100 million every year that he was in office to move illegal immigrants around the United States. So this, of course, is the way they don't like Christianity. They're trying to destroy Christianity, right? So it's incredible, right? So you have a faction of the Catholic Church that basically came to power after the former faction, the military arm, the Knights Templar, was basically dissolved by the Pope and the I think Edward was it Edward II, I think, who was the French king at the time. He basically took down, we have Friday the 13th because he came in and then, I guess they burned alive the Knight Templar, head of the Knight Templar. So it's on Friday the 13th. So that they have made that a day in infamy for them. And that's a very, very bad day, because that was a day that it destroyed the Catholic Church's military arm. So the Jesuit arm is the arm of the previous Knight Templar. And the Knight Templars, of course, were also the monetary banking arm. Of course, all that went to Switzerland. And the Knight Templar had the red cross on a white background, which is the flag of Switzerland. So all the money went to Switzerland, the Templars' banking money. And then they went to Scotland, the remaining Templars, and worked with the Scottish, and just unbelievable history. And of course, Trump is Scottish, but they haven't been able to compromise Trump. And that's why they hate him so much. That's why the Pope attacked him all the time. And while we'll probably see the next Pope attack him as well. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. Of course, they want, all the wealth of Africa. So they may have an African, a black Pope. So the black Pope, we've all heard that there's, the Pope that's in front, and there's a black Pope. The black Pope is the Jesuit Pope, right? And my understanding, I could be wrong, but that's my understanding. So anyway, when they do finally come to after the conclave and decide what and who the next Pope will be, and from that point, we'll understand, which direction things are moving. So another thing, I guess the Chinese were pretty much conquered by the Jesuits. So that's the Chinese are controlled almost exclusively by the Jesuits. That's why Trump is also going after the Chinese with tariffs. So amazing information that came out. So stunning. I highly recommend you watch that show that I did with him. Also, get Leo Zagami's book, the Confessions of Illuminati, Volume 12. So he goes deep into the Jesuits, who are basically, they are the controllers. They're the deep state. Of course, the Vatican is, and they're the arm of the Vatican. So crazy information, guys. And we talk about all that stuff, and we talk about, how they have these schools, and they come in with their, so I'm on YouTube, so I'm not going to go into specifics, but how they come after children and so forth. So there's a reason why they do that, and we talked a little bit about that. So absolutely stunning information, and eventually, if we work together, we'll be able to take that down, that system down. So now that we know who the real enemy is, that's who we need to start to go after. So again, it's not the Khazarian Mafia, it is the Jesuits who are the real enemy, guys. So let's start to focus ourselves on overcoming this evil on earth, and start to take down that secret society. I'm going to read in detail his latest book, so I have deep insights. I'll be able to talk more informatively on the Jesuits and how the Jesuits are basically taking over the world, right? So fascinating information. I just love how everything's being revealed on a greater and greater scale as we move forward. So I know you guys are too, and that's why I love to bring all this information out and be part of it. All right, so what else is going on in the world? A lot of actually a lot of things. So let me pull up. So if you look at what I saw recently, the Canadian government is launching trials for groundbreaking inhaled mRNA COVID vaccine, AeroVax. AeroVax. Of course, I know a lot of you are already jumping to conclusion like I did. And of course, they talk about it in the article that I looked at. So what they want to do is they want to have an aerosolized version. Instead of injecting you basically inhale it. It goes into your lungs, absorbed through the lungs, into your body. So of course, Canada is putting millions of dollars into this, because Canada, I guess, has a Jesuit guy they just elected for prime minister in Canada. I guess he's a Jesuit. We need to start talking about that. Talking like that, guys. Let's look at his background now. Because we're all like deep state, Khazarian Mafia, blah, blah, blah. Now we need to start looking at Jesuit connections. And I was blown away, I got to tell you, by the information that Leo basically brought up. Now, he's been revealing that, little tidbits of that on my show over time, saying these things, but it didn't click the way it did on this show. The monumental impact that the Jesuits have and do have on our world. Very, very incredible, groundbreaking work. So the Canadian government is stepping into bold new territory with the development of groundbreaking mRNA-based aerosol vaccine known as AeroVax, designed to address vaccine hesitancy. So you don't like that shot in the arm? Well, just inhale this and you're good to go. So it's absorbed through the lungs, offering a needle-free alternative that could transform public health strategies. Of course it could. And who do you think they're working with? The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. How about that? Wow. So good job, Canada. Good job, Jesuit Canada. Right. America's no longer Jesuit because we have Trump, and they hate Trump. And so we know why now. So this is so amazing, all this stuff. Now we can really see who the baddies are, who's the bad guys, right? So, of course, if this does get approved and people start to do this, like sheeple, then, of course, they can aerosolize it in aircraft, right? They can just, a city doesn't want to be vaccinated, no problem. We're just going to spray you till you're all vaccinated. If a country is resisting, no problem. We'll just chemtrail you till you all are vaccinated. Don't realize there has to be or is a need for a new vaccination. You're just doing your life, watching news. You're out in the field, in your little farm. You're off the grid. No problem. We're going to aerosolize. All right. And we know those farms those areas where people are off the grid. We know you. Of course they would, because they have satellites. They can look at everything. So I think that's where things are moving. Of course, some states have said no more aerosolizing, but really, do you have that control? Do they have the control against the Jesuit assassination group? Right. So I don't know. It's getting crazier and crazier, isn't it? It's quite a mess out there. But knowing who the enemy is, I can assure you, really moves us closer to overcoming this obstacle to freedom, humanity, and so forth. So I'm pretty happy to know this information and start to move in the direction. Let it be known. So let it be known out there. Jesuits are the problem. Sing it high. Sing it to everybody. All right. It's going to be amazing going forward. All right. So looks like that Leo Zagami is up on YouTube. It's up on Rumble. Crazy. So there's a new body cam footage that shows Maryland dad Borrego Garcia has been released, and the Democrats look more imbecilic than they have been before. Now, Leo said Democrat Party is the party of the Jesuits. That makes so much sense now. That makes so much sense, because the Jesuits want the immigration, the Democrats want the illegal. What part of illegal don't you understand, judges? Oh, you're Jesuit too. All right. You're a Jesuit too. Judicial judges in the United States that are trying to push back on illegal immigration are part of the Jesuit, probably trained in Jesuit schools, guys. So we need to look into all of these different judges that are pushing back on Trump, trying to un-Jesuitize us. And find out probably they went to Jesuit schools. They have Jesuit leanings, probably Masonic, because kind of in the same ballpark. Craziness. So this Maryland dad was busted, pretty much. There's video of him having been pulled over. He's basically driving with a van load of people. He's a human trafficker. And then another police officer shows up, and he has a bomb or drug sniffing dog, and they go around the vehicle. And so he's talking to the patrolman that pulled him over, and he's saying, "You do understand, that he is a trafficker." And so they're talking about that, and it's very, very insightful. Let me see if I can pull that up. So there's body cam footage where he's talking to these guys. Let's see if it pulls up. If it does, I'll pull it up. Yep. So let me pull it up, and I'll push it to the. I'll let it go a little bit, and then I'll push it to the point where he gets the other patrolmen to come in and share with them what these guys are all about.
Yeah. Good, and you? All right. Anything good? You got a bunch of people in here, don't you?
It's 1 for shit. Yes. Go back to work.
Gotcha. Where are you working at?
Where? San Luis, Missouri.
Missouri?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm from Maryland.
Okay. Now, the reason I stopped you, we was running 75 down through here.
75?
Yeah. Was this just 65? Have you got the proof of insurance?
Yeah, I don't know where to put it. My boss and everything like that.
Does anybody else have a driver's license?
Driver license?
Yeah.
No,
Nobody?
Only me, sir.
So he has an expired driver's license, speeding. He has a van load of people that he's trafficking. I don't know what happens here, but maybe he's got a court appearance coming up. But let's jump to the guy doing the dog.
Like this.
Okay.
You know what you got, right?
Huh?
You know what you got here, right?
No.
He's hauling these people for money, is what he's doing. But sometimes they commingle dope. And
No. But
there's 8 people in there.
yeah, I know. I didn't know that. They put an extra row of seats in there.
Yeah. So he's getting paid to haul these people, probably to Maryland, I would say, if I had my
He
guess.
said that.
All right. So the Jesuit-controlled Democrat Party. God, now we know. Now we're exposing them. We're getting down to the root of this. Wow, this is a fantastic time, right? So the Jesuit Democrat Party is part of the Jesuit immigration, and that's why they want to keep guys like him. That's why the Democrat Party, sent their guy from Maryland, their senator from Maryland, to go down and try and get their trafficker back, right? Their human trafficker back, because they're all part of the Jesuit. Probably the senator that went down there he's part of the Democrat Party, so he's Jesuit. All right. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing an incredible exposure of a lot of these things that are really screwing up our world. All right. So we're going to continue to see all these manipulations working around the Trump administration. We'll see the stock market probably crash at some point. That's the way they roll. They pump the stock market like it's being pumped right now, and then they crash it. So I would say they're probably going to go a little crash. Maybe I would say next week, but I can't guess. I can't guess these guys. The one thing I can guess is that silver goes up, and that's why I have lots of silver. I'm completely in silver, right? I really don't. I was invested in other things, but silver is the one that I've invested in, and of course, Dr. Kirk Elliott. So I try and give every Friday. I give information out, but Dr. Kirk Elliott couldn't make it this Friday. He'll be with us next Friday at 3:00. So I had Leo Zagami come in. What a great one, right? So it worked out really good. So we're starting to see one of Kirk Elliott realizes the monetary system is controlled by the Jesuits. Right? Wow, in the Catholic Church. How about that? So that's where we're going. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, Secretary Rollins, launches portal for ranchers, farmers to report harassment by government agencies. So the USDA has basically been turned by Trump. So it was obviously at one point controlled by the Jesuits, right? So the Jesuits no longer have control of the USDA, and they're pushing back on. They're coming after farmers. They want to control the food the food. They do that in every communist. The Jesuits also they love the communists. That's why they did so well in China. Right? There's probably, you go to every communist country, Russia when it was communist. All right, Jesuit influence. So everywhere you see communism, you're seeing Jesuits, right? And everywhere there's, power, a lot of power, and pretty much every government around the world, you're going to see Jesuits, right? So it's no longer It's no longer the Khazarians. So you can back off on the Jewish hate. I never had it, so it is. It's crazy to go there. I never thought that was smart. It was Khazarian. I always thought the Khazarians, and still do, were people that posed as Jews. They weren't Jews. They had a different someone they liked more, right? The opposite of God, right? So the fallen angel guy. So yeah, so you look at all this stuff, and it starts to come out, Luciferian, so forth. Now, Leo said Jesuits don't worship Lucifer. They don't worship anybody, right? I guess they think I think their gods are the Catholic Church or whoever is telling them to impose their will on us. So that's good that our food supply is being protected now. Under the Jesuit rule, it was being attacked, and it's being pushed back on. So anyone now, all of you farmers out there, or you have anyone, you have your own your individual, you don't have a farm that you're basically feeding hundreds of thousands of people, but a lot of people that have farms, people that they grow food in their yard, they come after everybody. So now we're seeing that USDA can be contacted if we're being harassed by local municipalities, county health officials, whatever. Now the USDA is going to protect us growing our own food, and farmers growing food for us. So very, very good. It's going to be quite interesting going forward. So I'm looking forward to it, to see all this stuff get revealed. So Tulsi Gabbard confirms a task force is investigating flip-flopping fascist Führer Fauci's role in COVID origins. Boy, that's from Liberty Daily. Boy, they just lit it up, didn't they? It's very, very interesting how all this stuff is being revealed by the anti-Jesuit Trump administration. So that's where we're going with all this. And it says 125,000 New Yorkers fled for Florida the last 5 years, taking $14 billion with them. So I guess if you look at a stronghold is basically destroying its citizenry and so forth, we're probably going to start to look at the Jesuits, not the Democrats. So Jesuits are controlling this. So in New York, Kathy Hochul, let's look at her contacts and her affiliation with the Jesuits. Gavin Newsom, who's also destroying cities through immigration and poor tactics, where everybody's leaving California. So people are leaving New York, people are leaving California because of the Jesuits, right? Gosh, this just is fantastic. To start to speak this. I wonder how this is going to fly. This video, and these videos they're putting out against the Jesuits. Now we see who the real enemy is. All right. So lots of different things are coming out. Hunter Biden cites financial woes and desperate plea to federal judge. Now, if this federal judge is a Jesuit judge, he's probably going to get off. Right? They're just going to make appearances, and then they're going to to their cronies and their people that work for them through, they're just puppets for the Jesuits. They'll be given, by Jesuit judicial system because it's above us. So we know that there is a government that we work in, that we have laws within, and there's a Jesuit, right, government, a Jesuit judicial system that governs them. Of course, if they get out of line, they get taken out as well through their system, and we know how that works. They're found, suicided somewhere, or they disappear. And everybody will come after you. So we always thought it was the Gazarian Mafia. Now we need to start to look at the Jesuits and really start to move in that direction and take those guys down. Right? That's going to be interesting. Starting to put the focus on them, see how this works out, guys. All right. So Supreme condemns Trump attacks. So the latest, newest Supreme Court nomination that Jesuit Biden put in office is basically calling out Trump. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson forcefully, it's kind of like a Jesuit thing, condemned attacks by President Donald Trump and his allies on judges who have blocked Trump administration policies. On judges. So obviously these are Jesuit judges who have blocked Trump administration policies, warning Thursday that the increasing hostile rhetoric poses a dire threat to the country's political fabric. It's not the country's political fabric. It's the fabric of the Jesuit judicial system. That's what she's trying to protect. And that's what all these other people do. God, now we just start to focus on this. I wonder how this is all going to turn out. Wow. Now that we know who the real enemy is. It's stunning. It's stunning. All right. So let me look at a few other headlines here. Trump's quest for crypto riches is a constitutional scandal waiting to happen. So that must mean it's good. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Employers added 177,000 jobs in April, and unemployment stayed at 4.2%. So is that because Trump has turned things around, or because they're lying? I don't think they're lying about this stuff anymore, guys. I think Trump is really starting to turn things around, and that's what we're going to continue to see. Now, how can California population be increasing? So could be false information. California's population increased for the second consecutive year, with much of the growth coming to the state's biggest cities. And how could that be possible? Well, the only way it could be possible, because we're seeing massive numbers of people leaving California, is that they're illegal immigrating massive numbers of people and replacing with illegal immigration the people that are pretty much non-critical thinkers, don't speak the English language. So a lot of leftist Democrats argue that we need these people to do the jobs, how they say that. But really, so the problem is they can't speak the language. So they're being caught, trucking. And when they get pulled over and they can't speak the language, like you saw that video where that illegal alien, that's an MS-13 gang member, he could barely speak English. Now, if he could not speak English and he was driving a truck, then they can actually arrest him and deport him for that. So, yeah, he has a job by a trunking company and he can't read or write English. And what are our signs in English, right? So he's voting probably. They gave him, because he has a driver's license. So he's voting. And you know how voters, those people that vote, have to go, we occasionally, I've been to court. I've stood court duty and all that kind of stuff. They can't do that because they can't speak English. Wow. So there is a reason why we have, we're trying to push out illegal immigrants, other than the fact we have all these MS-13 people that are basically trafficking people, like we saw with the guy that Democrats love and are trying to protect, the wife beater. And I guess the guy that actually is the father of those children is trying to get custody of those children because this guy's trying to make his way back into his ex-wife's life, even though she's basically saying she doesn't want him around because he beats her. Domestic violence. So I don't know. It is very interesting how this all is working out. So tomorrow is celebration of life for my son, who just recently passed away. Lots of interesting things have been happening. Of course, I see cardinals every day. Cardinals, the red cardinals, they're supposed to be, and now that I know this, it's very interesting because I see the cardinals every day. When I was driving my car, and their communicators with the other side, there was this cardinal that was flying right alongside my truck as I was driving. I was like, I've never seen that before. It's pretty wild. And of course, I've seen him every day since I went up to Nashville and learned of his death. So, very, very amazing information. When I did a LifeWave show just recently, the LifeWave show where everybody came in, I see some of you guys are, saying condolences. So thank you very much. So there were a lot of people in that show, the LifeWave show, were giving their condolences. And normally I do those shows about an hour, and then I sign off. But for whatever reason, it went a little bit longer. There were a lot of people sharing incredible, miracles. And I was like, we got to continue this because these miracles are over the top. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I got a tea delivery. It was great. Hey, buddy. So we basically, have been seeing all these things. So I did the LifeWave show, and when I stopped it stopped at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. It's like angelic sign. And then I just did yesterday. I did a show here on YouTube, and it stopped at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 11 seconds. So isn't it cool to get those signs from the universe and from the other side? It's very special. So tomorrow we'll have my son unfortunately died of an overdose. He's been struggling with it for a long time. Looked like he was doing good, and unfortunately he had a relapse. But the last year of his life, we got to do a lot of good things. So it was good. Got to do travel, went to Egypt, dove the Red Sea, saw the pyramids. And in fact, this celebration of life, we have the picture where he's on the camel. Looks like a sheik. And there's pyramids in the background. Pretty cool. So we're going to be doing celebration of life for him tomorrow. So thank you for all of you that have supported. Super tough time, obviously, but trying to still get this information out. And it is very, very important because part of this takedown of America and the world through drug trafficking and so forth is from who? The Jesuits, I guarantee you. So I'm going to look into that, and we'll get very deeply into that and expose more of that as we go forward. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and we'll see you guys next time.